Which came first, the Declaration or the Constitution?
Declaration.
Very good. You know why that's so important? Because a lot of people don't understand that the Declaration of Independence came before the Constitution of the United States. The founders had to declare, put a stake in the ground and say, we declare we're going to be a free nation, and we're going to declare that we're going to break away from Great Britain and old King George. They had to declare it first. And then they built the structure called the Constitution. And the other thing that a lot of people either forget or have never known is what that declaration means. Because, see, the principles in the Declaration shaped the Constitution. They are tied together. And when you get to the part that says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, one of the most important phrases to remember: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it was Steve Forbes that reminded me that that order was very deliberate. It didn't say pursuit of happiness, liberty, and life. It said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for a reason. You can pursue happiness all you want to in America, as long as you don't infringe upon somebody else's liberty. You can have all of the liberty. You are free to do and say whatever you want to, as long as you don't infringe upon somebody else's life. That's why you go to jail if you kill somebody. You know, for a murderer to say, it's a free country, I can do what I want to do. Not if you take somebody else's life. Because we are a lawful nation. Having laws and observing laws is one of the things that has made this country great. Are they perfect? No. Do we have corruption? Yes. Do people sometimes break them? Yes. But so far it's been the best system on the planet. So declaring what we were going to be about, what kind of nation we were going to be, was step one, and that was critical. And the founders felt so passionate about it that they pledged their honor, their fortunes, and their lives. That's how strongly they felt about it. I call them the founding fathers. And we have a responsibility as what I call the defending fathers. Because if we don't defend those principles constantly, we could lose them. And when you get to the part that says life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, I have an assignment for you, because I'll be back. Keep reading the next paragraph. It would be good to learn that first part in this next paragraph. When any form of government becomes destructive of those ideals, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. The government is not our master. The government is supposed to work for us. And sometimes that's what we have to remind people of. Many of you probably heard about the Tea Party movement, right? Heard about the Tea Parties, and some people in the mainstream media trying to paint the Tea Party as something bad, or racist, or right-wing, and that's what they do when they don't know how to counter the voice of we the people, which is what that whole Tea Party movement is all about. It is about the voice of the we the people. It's about a group of people who said, wait a minute, when any form of government becomes destructive of those ideals, I think forcing legislation down the people's throat is kind of destructive of those ideals. Okay, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish. Well, we have the right to alter or abolish. So the people who shove legislation down our throats, we abolish their position. And we alter their career. It's our right. The power ultimately belongs to the people. But for so long, for decades, we've seen what I call bureaucratic creep on the American people. That people just sort of have gotten used to it. And that's exactly what we need to do for this economy. Extend tax rates for everybody. And for people who haven't figured it out, we're still in a recession. The last thing that you do in a recession is raise taxes. Go back and look at what happened in the 1920s. They lowered taxes and revenues went up over 60%. Look at what happened in the 1960s when Kennedy, a Democrat president, was able to push through lower taxes. Revenues went up over 60% after 7 years. Ronald Reagan in the 80s was able to push through lower taxes. Revenues went up only over 50%. Lower taxes work when you're doing the right way. The last thing we need in a recession is to raise taxes. The power of information instantaneously has given power back to we the people. That's why I'm excited. Okay, that's all I got to say. Questions?